Hi, welcome back to the Slow Magic Challenge. This is day 9, grant specificity to yourself. And I'm actually really excited about today. The topic for today has been transforming me a lot lately in ways that I didn't expect and in places that I'd honestly stopped looking. So my hope is that it does the same for you. So, again, the promise of this challenge is that for 12 days, we're interrupting the mythology of fast transformation and practicing another way, one rooted in presence, participation, and self trust, and the small, faithful movements that actually have the power to change us. So, over 10 years ago, I went to a TEDx talk by author Patty Dye. And at the time, I was living in an intentional community in an inner city house, committed to learning in an embodied way, not just an idea, what it means to be a good neighbor. And she said something in that talk that has really stayed lodged in me ever since. She said, the shortest distance between two people is a story. The capacity for me to know your story and you to know my story. Because what happens when we tell our stories is you become not a what, but a who to me. And once you're a who to me, I can't go back to seeing you as a what, a category, a stereotype. And I just felt that so strongly because I was literally watching it happen in real time. When people who knew me heard where I lived, there was fear. To them, it was just those people who may or may not have good character, who probably didn't, because let's be honest, it was labeled a rough area. To them, it was a what, not a who. But to those of us actually living there, those were our neighbors. There was a man who walked the hills of our town, pushing his lawnmower up and down every day, and we knew him. We'd been inside his home. We'd helped carry furniture into his home. We met his sister. We'd walked up the sidewalk with him and heard his stories. And he's the one who taught us to tip a lawnmower on its wheels and use it as a dolly for hauling bulky things, which can be genuinely useful if you need that and that's what you have available, right? And there were veterans living down the road in a group home who came to the convenience store near our house every single day to get their fountain pop. And we knew their names and their faces. We waved when we saw each other. And yeah, we were careful, of course, but a completely different, richer experience unfolded in our lives because we met people with presence and a smile instead of fear and judgment. Specificity was the thing that did it. Not information about that neighborhood. Him, his lawnmower, his sister, their fountain pops. Specificity is what turns a what into a who. And it's been one of the most powerful tools that I know for seeing past my own blind spots ever since. So today, I actually want to invite you into specificity with yourself, which might sound kind of funny, but we do the exact same thing to ourselves that we do to strangers. We flatten ourselves into a what, especially when we're talking about our bodies. We often do that, right? Like we call our body an it and we kind of generalize about it, when in reality, our body is unique and specific as well, and the embodied experiences we have are important for us to notice and listen to. And this connects directly to what we talked about yesterday. So when we outsource to someone else's method or someone else's expertise, we lose that specificity of our own unique experience. And that specificity is exactly where your most significant authority lies. Specificity is what turns an empty process into a magical ritual. It's the portal into transformation, not the concept, but the specific, textured, sensory truth of your actual life. So, today's practice, I'm actually going to lead you through it now, and then the homework for tonight will kind of be like the finishing of it. So I'm going to invite you to go ahead right now and grab a pen and paper for this one, actual paper if you can, and take your time with each step. I'm going to walk you through it. So the first step is that I'm going to lead you through a memory experience. And for this first memory, I want you to kind of settle into your space, get comfortable wherever you're sitting. And I want you to think about the last 10 years. So think back to August of 2016. So somewhere between then and now, what is one powerful, good, peak memory that you have? Go ahead and land on one. When you have it, I want to invite you to look around inside of it. Really look. Inside of this memory, notice what were the sights, the textures, the temperatures, the smells, the sounds, the feelings, the tastes. And once you can feel yourself back inside it, write down everything you can remember. And when you're done, put your pen down and clear that memory from your mind. The next memory we're going to do is in the last 5 years. So think back to August of 2021. And I want to invite you to choose another powerful, good memory from that stretch of time. Again, look around it. Textures, temperatures, smells, sounds, feelings, tastes. When you've got a full sensory experience of that memory, go ahead and write it down. Then set your pen down and clear your mind again. When you're ready, we're going to go into the last one. This is the third memory I want to remind you about, connect you with. And this is in the last year. So think back to August of 2025 until now. What is one good, powerful, happy memory from this past year? Notice the colors, the aromas, the looks on people's faces, the emotions moving through you. And then write this one down too. And when you're ready, when you're complete with that, I want to invite you to look at your page where you have all 3 memories, sensory elements written down. And I want to invite you to make a new category on your page that just says themes. And I want you to look across all 3 memories and find the themes. So I want to give you full permission to get specific here, even if it feels silly. So if you were standing outdoors in the grass in 2 or more of your memories, then write down grass. Even if it's like, well, is that significant? I don't know. Like, it's a theme. It was in 2 or more of your memories. If you were drinking something warm in more than one, write that down. If you were barefoot, if you saw the color purple, if you had a particular feeling, I'm just kind of making things up because it's going to be very specific to you. So if the number of people around you was in common, or the lack of people around you. So anything that you can find that is a theme showing up in 2 or more of your 3 memories. And I want you to find at least 3 to 5 themes. So go ahead and pause the video while you draw these out for yourself. And once you have them, read them out loud to yourself. They may seem small, even silly. They aren't. These are offering you real insight into your own recipe of aliveness. So, here's tonight's homework. So, once your themes are written down, I want to invite you tonight to make a list of bite-sized ways that you could access those same elements. And I'm not talking about big, rare experiences like a massage or a spa day. Those are wonderful when life allows them, but that's not what I'm asking you for. I'm asking you for something that you could actually do daily. Small, accessible, yours. So I'm going to just share some examples. I had a client who one of their themes was fresh air. And he actually worked in like this building that had a labyrinth of offices and things. And so what he ended up doing to make fresh air bite-sized was whenever he got up to go to the bathroom, he would go outside, take one door to go outside and come back in another one to get to a different bathroom so that it was on his route. But that was his route to the bathroom whenever he went. I had another client where one of the themes was meandering. Like there was wandering in each memory. And so when he drove home from work, he always took a different route home or a wandering route home if he could, right? And so I'm just talking about accessible things that fit inside of your everyday that are opportunities for you to sink in to the specificity of your aliveness. So create that list of bite-sized ways you can access these things, just ideas, not committing to anything yet. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being with me today.